What's up, savages? Hope you're all doing well and enjoying all this green. We had a little flash crash earlier. BTC went down to like 11,800 or 700 or something like that, but it's almost recovered all of that. I mean, it was recovering. Now it's kind of hanging around that 13,000 mark. Tonight we're going to be covering how to mine AION on using AMD GPUs and SimpleMining OS. This has been basically AION week for us. You can see all these AION videos down here. And we actually started the week on Saturday with a whole, 50 minutes worth of talking about AION. We didn't even mine it or anything. We just talked about what it was about and some other things, but kind of cool. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. But first, if you are watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what's wrong with you actually. Hit that like and subscribe and the bell and all that stuff, because if this little number right here gets to 1,000 before Sunday, then I'm going to do a pretty significant giveaway. And it's not on track because it's already Wednesday and what is that, 113? Is my math right? 113 off. So I don't know. Let's make it happen. Let's get 1,000 before Sunday so that we can give away that GPU. So anyway, make sure that you subscribe and the bell and all that stuff. Tell your friends, whatnot. Let's get this number up to over 1,000. And I'm live almost every night. I mean, we have fun. We talk about crypto mining stuff. And I've actually started streaming on Saturdays as well. So, and that's usually around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I'm going to try at least a couple more times and see how it goes. You should also follow me on Twitter, because over here is where I'll tweet things about the show and what's going on that night. And sometimes I'll do polls and see what people are wanting to see for that night, whether it's how to mine a specific coin or whatever. Sometimes the poll could be anything. So I used to pick 3 projects that I was kind of interested in, and then we got through those, and we kind of got it nailed down to 10 to 15 projects that I really want to cover, that I want to follow, and not just all that random stuff, because the random stuff was getting really old. The completely random stuff. I still call it the Random Coin Mining Show, because we are kind of still looking at a random coin, but it's just something, it's basically out of a list, right? So, or out of a list of coins that I'm interested in. So follow me over there as well. Let's also take a look at what I am currently mining on the NVIDIA rig. I'm still mining Beam, and the AMD rig is still off because of my power situation. So I haven't got that ironed out yet, but I will. I just haven't had time. I was working in the garage today doing some, normal type work, not crypto work. So yeah, just didn't have time to mess with it today, but I will eventually. And then on the SimpleMining rigs, these are the co-owned rigs. I don't own these rigs outright. They're shared. And what we do is we basically every month around the 20th, we will discuss what we want to mine, with the 2 rigs. And so far it has been pretty much conceal CCX for quite a few months now. It's been quite a few months, and I don't think we're going to change that anytime soon. So that's what we're mining with the co-owned rigs over there on SimpleMining. I kind of looked at the market real quick. Let's go over here, do a quick refresh, see what's up. Uh-oh, it dropped below 13 again. I think we're going to be okay. I don't know what's going on, but hey, we've had a heck of a few days here. All right, so let's look at some of the more common coins that we look at. Of course, we're going to look at AION, because that's what we're talking about tonight. They're down a little bit. Super bargain price there. Not financial advice, but they are usually they were hanging around 20 cents there for quite some time. Raven's down a little bit. Another super bargain price. Not financial advice, but good grief. 5 cents below 6 cents for Raven is good. Let's look at Swap. Swap is up a little bit. That's looking good. There was some news that came out about Swap. I think they got listed on Coinbase or Coinbase Pro or something like that. I don't remember exactly what I saw, but I need to look into that to see what it is. Something about tracking. I guess it's only for tracking. It's not like on Coinbase, but it's for just the tracking portion of it. So that's kind of cool. Good news for them. And Zell's down a little bit, hanging around 8 cents. Look at Conceal. Conceal's up strong today. That's good. 20 cents. They finally got unstuck from that 14 and 15 cent range. So that's good. Pretty low volume and stuff, but I mean it's a micro cap, I think is what you would call it. Way below $1 million market cap. All right, let's look at Veil, another privacy coin, up a little bit, 8%. That's nice. Another privacy coin. See the trend here. Loki's doing well, up 21%. I like that. We'll go to Nimic, which is like adoption, onboarding, simplicity, and stuff like that. They're up 8.6%. EtherGem down a little. I say a little. I mean 10% is not a huge amount for a micro cap like that. So still keeping an eye on them. And then Bitcash down a little bit, 13%. All right, let me check the chat, see who all's in here. What is going on, Shuby? Crypto Sweeper, what's up, man? Bitcoin Jake, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Oh yeah, and Shuby, I forgot. Shuby's gonna donate some crypto. What was it? 2 Ethereum? I think it was like 2 ETC, I believe, Ethereum Classic. I believe that's what you said. I don't know. Let me know so that I can put it out there for sure. So that I can say, okay, we're gonna do, a giveaway of a GPU and some crypto. Oh, it's 3 ETC. What is ETC at right now? $9. Okay. So that's a good. I appreciate that. That's going to be awesome. I'll get that out there. Okay, so I'll put it out in Twitter and all that stuff that it's going to be 3 ETC as well. So that's a pretty significant giveaway. So we'll do 2. I guess we'll do 2 giveaways, and if I can come up with something else, I will. Maybe we'll do more than just the 2. We'll see. We will see what is up. All right, that's cool. All right, let's go over to, let's check out their website real quick, AION's website, since we're going to be talking about it. And you might be asking, if you're new here or if this is the first episode that you've seen regarding AION or my channel or anything like that, and if you haven't been watching what we've been doing this week, AION is, I like to describe them as an end user and developer focused Web 3.0 blockchain interoperability platform. That's a whole mouthful, but basically they are creating a hub and spoke model of blockchains using bridges that Java developers can create with AION Virtual Machine, which they just released recently, using industry standard models and languages such as Java. And the cool thing is that they're focused on simplicity for both the developers and the users and their privacy. So, those are key things to me that I like to see in a project. So that's something that AION is striving to achieve. So cool stuff. Check out their website, aion.network. They've done a lot of updates to the website somewhat recently. Whenever I did the mining video way back when, it was a lot different. Their website was a lot different. That's not what I wanted to do. Wow, I don't even have that video in here, do I? No, because it's an hour long, so I got to add that video to that playlist. But anyway, so yeah, check out the AION videos over here. You could probably just search for them. There's one in here. Yeah, this one right here. This is an hour long, but it covers a lot of different stuff, a lot of different platforms, so keep that in mind. So this is a pretty decent video, but they've changed their website quite a bit since this particular video was made. I know I talk about their video or their website on here a little bit. Anyway, so just check that out if you want more information about AION and what it is and all that stuff. Or you could check out that one video that we made on, or that I did on Saturday. That went kind of in depth as well. Kind of rambling about it, this one right here. But it's still probably somewhat useful information in there. Alright, so we are going to attack this like we normally do with a blank spreadsheet. And we're just going to start documenting everything. So I'm just going to do what we normally do back in the completely random coin days. And we talked a little bit more in depth about their algorithm last night. And if you want to check that out, you can. Let's see here. And just keep in mind that some miner programs have to have the personalization string. The one that we're using tonight does not, because LOL miner does not use a personalization string. It actually uses the coin parameter to determine what the personalization string is fed to the pool. I would assume that's how that works, because it doesn't actually have that personalization string in there. Alright, so just keep that in mind. If you are using, especially if you're using Gminer, this has to be in there if you're using Gminer. I believe it has to be in there. Probably depends on the pool, but I would put it in there just to make sure. It's kind of a security measure also. So let's go ahead and look at what pool we'll be using. I like to go to mining pool stats.stream and then look up whatever you're trying to mine. We'll go with AION here. And then AION pool.tech, my favorite pool, of course, to mine AION. But man, they are way up there in the hash rate. If I was going to seriously mine this, I would probably, I mean, to do the right thing, you really need to spread out the hash rate a little bit, right? For decentralization. But in this case, we're going to use AION pool.tech. And this is their front page here. And until you put an address in here that you're actually going to be mining to, you're not going to see much information here. But basically you'll go to connect, and then here you get to figure out what your stratum URL is, your server URL, pool URL, whatever you want to call it. In this case, they have a cluster.aionpool.tech that you would set your rig to, and then it has failover, so that if the closest one, what it does is it points you to the closest one to you, and then if that pool fails for whatever reason, it'll fail over to the next one, the next closest. So see, it automatically selects our closest stratum to you. Alright, so we're going to grab that. Put that in here. And then the port, because we're going to be using an 8 GPU rig tonight, AMD, we'll just grab 3333 as the port number. Starting difficulty type stuff. And then the wallet receiving address, I forgot to start my wallet. So what I'll do, let's just use Coinomi. want to say that I have that address somewhere. Let me look real quick here. Alright, so here is my Coinomi mobile wallet AION address. And I'll show you what that looks like. So here is the Coinomi wallet, mobile wallet. And then you got AION up here at the top. It probably puts them in some type of alphabetical order, I guess. And then you would click on, to get the address, you would click on receive right here. And that's the address that I sent myself in an email. And that's what's up there. You can kind of verify. Look at the last 4 numbers there. Down there at the bottom, 8507. So you can see that right there, 8507. So that is the address that I'm using, the Coinomi wallet there. All right, and that's in these top things here. All these top things, all these grayed out values right here aren't necessary to successfully mine, but pretty much everything else is. And I actually moved the wallet receiving address higher because it's important. These 3 things right here are the most important. You know, obviously you're going to want to know what coin you're mining, but the algorithm is important, the pool and the port, ultra important. You have to have it in order to mine to a pool anyway. And then the receiving address as well. So you have to have a wallet that has a receiving address that you can mine to. And the Coinomi wallet works really well because it doesn't change your receiving address every time you request it. So it works pretty well. All right, so let's go out and look at the market cap for AION. Hasn't changed a whole lot since yesterday, I don't believe. So if you've been watching every night, it hasn't moved a whole lot, I don't think. Volume, I want to say that was lower than yesterday. I want to say that they were in the 4 million range as far as volume. I don't know. Rank 134. And then we'll go out to what to mine as well. And you can get to all this from miningpoolstats.stream. It's kind of nice because they have everything over here. So we will go to what to mine. Brain freeze there for a second. Alright, so here's what to mine for AION. And you can get here just by clicking on coins up there and then typing in AION as well. It's the same thing. And you can see the block rewards and block time and things like that. 10-second block times right now. Cool stuff. Miner type stuff. I'm going to copy this from what to mine. Again, this is just documentation, just for your, reference and stuff like that. It's not, you don't have to have this stuff. And this seems a little bit abandoned over here, which is fine because they're, already launched and stuff. But this is there, and I always have trouble finding the right one. I think it's this one, and then I have to hit. Nope, that's not it. Let's see if it is that first one now. Oh, it is. Okay, good. Before, whenever I would search for this before, it wouldn't be the first one. It was like way down there. So cool. All right, so this is the first one in the search. So this is their Bitcoin Talk thread, and The date was September 28th of 2017, whenever they launched. And their website is aion.network. And then they've got a cool mining help section on their website. If you go to their website, you go to developers and then mining. And it starts you off here under extra and it says mining down here. So it does walk you through a lot of stuff, but another really good, and it talks a lot about Equihash as well. So if you really want to totally geek out on Equihash, you can come in here and read all this. But another really good resource is this external resources link down there. And this kind of narrows it down to GPU type mining information. So pretty cool. Different operating systems and pools and everything, and which miners you would use depending on your hardware. So see, you can see right here, LOL miners for AMD, and that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So I'm going to grab this as the mining help website. And then the miner is going to be LOL miner. We already know that. And then we'll get the miner options and stuff a little bit later. And then we'll also look at the overclocks as well. So let me make sure I covered everything I wanted to. I showed the dashboard, the AION dashboard. I believe it's hanging off their website. I mean, this is kind of a nice thing as well. Not that. I think I'm gonna have to go back here. I don't think I've ever got to the tools. No. Yeah, you know what? I don't even know how to get to it from here. I got to it from the desktop wallet last night. In the top left-hand corner where the AION logo is, if you click that, it'll take you to the dashboard. And I don't really know where it's at, hanging off of the website like this. I would imagine it would be down here somewhere, maybe. There we go, boom, dashboard. All right, so this is like a look into the AION blockchain. It's got really a lot of information. It shows you all the blocks and all that stuff, you know, current hash rate and block time and all that stuff. Really cool stuff. But if you go up here to analytics, and you can look at the difficulty, see what's going on with the network difficulty. Still on a little bit of a downtrend. So that's actually good, right, for mining. Difficulty low, profit high. All right, and then if you go to hash power, I think it's similar, right? It'll just show you the overall network hash power. But you can also look at, I want to say it was active addresses. That was the one that had a, yeah, like look at this chart right here. Active address growth. That's pretty strong, right? I mean, this compared to the previous two with the hash rate and the difficulty doesn't really match up, you know. So this is, to me, this looks good. I mean, it just is launching like number of addresses. I think that's a super good thing. So, all right, I'm no analyst or anything, but it would seem like that would be good. That's a good sign. All right, so that's enough of the dashboard. You saw how I got there, right? I just basically scrolled down to the bottom on that first page and click dashboard at the bottom. Right there. All right, so let's get going on actually mining it. And we're going to be using SimpleMining OS. And these two rigs are, let's see, if I click on right here, this will show you the hardware. And I do want to cover a couple of really cool SimpleMining OS updates that they made recently. One is they've added the GPU name, the manufacturer, to the under the model, right? So you actually have the manufacturer of the GPU. Before, it was just saying RX 580 right here and not ASRock, right? So that helps you a little bit. Plus, if you put your mouse over the GPU, it will tell you what kind of memory it's got, the manufacturer, the bus ID. So it also tells you which PCIe slot it's in, it looks like. But remember, depending on your motherboard, it's going to be numbered weird, right? You'd have to look at your specifications for the motherboard to figure out which one's in actually which slot. So keep that in mind. It's not going to be, it's typically never going to be in order, right? I mean, it can be, but like, especially on the ASRock H110 Pro BTC Plus motherboards, it's not in order. They're all weird. Anyway, so it also has the GPU BIOS information in here as well, so you can kind of keep track of that. So that's a nice update. That is a super nice update for SimpleMining. They also have a last crash, because what was happening before, if your rig crashed running SimpleMining OS, there's no documentation of what happened, right? There were ways around it, but for the most part, you were just left on your own, you know, to troubleshoot it, right? Well, now, if it does crash, it's going to write data to the console and demessage, and you'll be able to retrieve that information from here and hopefully help you troubleshoot what's going on with your rig. So that's another super nice added feature there. Another thing that they added was system hardware up here, and if you put your mouse over see details, then it will tell you a little bit more about your actual hardware, not GPU related hardware, but your motherboard, your processor, your memory size, drive size, stuff like that. So this rig is running off of a USB, a 32 gig USB. Only needs 8, I think. It might actually need 16 now, or 12 or whatever, but I want to say that I don't remember if SimpleMining is too big for an 8 gig now, but I know it was getting pretty close. But yeah, 32 gig is still pretty cheap, inexpensive. So that is cool. Cool updates. Great job to the SimpleMining OS devs on that stuff. That is cool. All right, so enough of that, and we are going to go to group config. And if you're wondering how to get to this point, get mining on or get SimpleMining installed, check out my previous videos on my channel. I've got how to install SimpleMining, a couple of them, maybe even 3 or 4, I don't know, but it walks you through the whole process of how to get SimpleMining onto a USB and an SSD. I've got both versions, and you know, so that you can get to this point, so that you can get the rig to show up on SimpleMining and then start managing it that way. So just keep that in mind. So we're mining AION using AMD GPUs. I showed you the hardware. We'll use that bottom rig, this one right here, the Mustafar, and we're going to use that rig. So this is what these are those. I don't know if you remember. It was ASRock Phantom Gaming X RX 580s. That's what these are. 8 gigabyte versions. Phantom Gaming X, I think is the name of it. So we'll go to group config. We're going to add a group, and we've got all of our documentation already, right? Now, another cool feature that they added a while back for SimpleMining was the search feature. You can just type in AION, probably. Nope. You're going to have to type in 2109, probably. No, 21. Oh. Looks like they use slashes. There we go. Probably just do 210, and that's basically the same thing. So it says that you could use Gminer for RX, but I think, didn't we try that a while back and it did not work? Maybe I probably left it off. It was probably a situation where I said, we'll mess with that later, and then I never got back to it, because I don't mind AION using AMD, so it's just not efficient. You know, all the Equihash stuff basically works so much better on NVIDIA than AMD, so it's a memory hard algo, you know, bandwidth, memory bandwidth and stuff like that matters a lot. So we're going to close Gminer, and we're going to actually use LOL Miner. So we will use the latest version, and you can see right there, whoops, sorry. Let's close that. Let's start over, add a group, 210, close Gminer, and then on this one right here, I'm not going to click it because that's going to close it. But you can see 2109 right there. I'm surprised it doesn't say AION next to it. But that's cool, whatever. Alright, so we're going to click use there, and we're looking at version 0.8.1. I'm going to throw that in the spreadsheet real quick. Like that, so we got the version down. And then we're going to give the group name of AION YouTube. And I just did a video not that long ago on this as well. Not really going to put anything in group description. And then you can see the miner options right here. Coin, what coin are you mining? And if you click on show more info, I believe, nope, it does not have it down here. So what you have to do, what you would have to do is probably go and find LOL miner, maybe their GitHub, or just Google it, you know, LOL miner, what the coin would be here. I think it's AION because we did this last night. We did this whenever we did AMD on HiveOS. We did this as well. And I actually talked about it. I thought that what that was doing was setting the personalization string, but that's not really what's happening. So just keep that in mind. So it's coin AION, and I do believe that it has to be capitalized. I don't know for sure, but I think that it does. All right, in the pool, it's going to be cluster AION pool.tech. And then just remember that the port's going to be 3333. So we're going to paste that in there. The port's going to be 3333. The user is your receiving address. In this case, the Koinomi wallet receiving address for AION. Paste that in there as plain text. Draw this out so that we don't make any mistakes with spaces and stuff. So I'm going to get rid of that space. See how there was an extra space in there? If you would have left it like that, it might not work. So if you would have left it like that, if we would have left it like that, it might not have worked. So we're going to change the password just to X. And then that is going to be it. Let me zoom up on that for you guys. And I'm just double checking it, make sure there's no weird spaces or anything in here. Alright, looks good to me. So we're going to be able to click add group. And it added the group right here. Then we're going to go back to rig list. Choose the Mustafar rig, which is more reliable as far as reboots go. The Dagobah rig is the one that whenever I restart it, some of the GPUs don't start up every time, so I have to restart it like 3 or 4 times. So we're going to go with Mustafar, and then we're going to go with rig actions, group config, and then we're going to choose the group that we just created, which was AION YouTube 26 June. And then we're going to just do a reload and see what happens. I don't remember if the miner, if that LOL miner is on there or not. But we can go right to the little green eye there, and we can start looking at the console and watching what's going on here. Yeah, and if my second camera is showing on the stream there, that's mine and Beam. That's the NVIDIA rig. That's mine and Beam over there. So it's already received some work. New job received. and it's already submitted a share that's accepted, so that is a good sign. We are actually mining AION on AMD and SimpleMining OS. Now, these are my current overclock settings for and this was from, I believe, because this rig was mined in CCX, right? So the group OC that I have is set up for Kryptonote algorithm coins, or specifically Kryptonite Conceal. Kryptonite Conceal. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. All right, so that's what it's actually set up for. But what I've found is that for whatever reason, my GPUs, I can play around with the overclocks a little bit, but it makes very little difference, and it really just causes a whole lot of problems for me. So pretty much everything that I mine on this for right now, unless I was mining, now if I'm mining Ethash, then that's different. Then you do have to get into the overclocks. But pretty much everything else that I've tried to mine with this, I leave it on those overclock settings, because if I start messing with it, things start really going crazy. So you can see right here, this is what my overclock settings are. 1175 on the core, 2175 on the memory, 875 undervolting, aggressive, undervolting on, and power stage 3. And if you look at the recommendations, they'll say power stage 6 and some different, you have to match up, and if anybody knows where I can find this, that would be great if you could tell me. But apparently there is a relationship between your power stage setting and what your core and your memory are set to, and your undervolting. I think all three. And it should be like in a table form, you know, like if you have power stage 4 set, then your core memory should be between this range and that range, but I haven't been able to find it. But I do know that what you're looking at right here is super stable on my system. That right there gets decent hash rates all the time, and it's super stable. The rigs can run for, you know, months at a time like that. So, and it's, you know, efficient, profitable, so to speak, even though we're, you know, just holding all the coins, but it's not losing money, right? If we were to have to cash out or whatever into fiat, which I hate, but if we did have to do that, it would be fine, based on what it's earning right now. So anyway, let's see here. So we're getting 670 souls at 906 watts, and I can show you at the actual wall. And this was another kind of cool thing about SimpleMining, is that power draw right there that you see right here is actually pretty close to what's at the wall. So I've got the let me switch over to that camera. So I've got the smart plug, right, and we're looking at the Mustafar rig, right? So we're going to click on that guy, and we're going to click on the power thing down there. So it says that's a little bit different than what I was expecting. It says 800 watts, and this is saying 900. It's actually a lot more than I thought. In previous shows, it has been a little bit more accurate than that. So I don't know why it's a little bit off. Let me do a refresh just to see. Yeah, it says 900, but it's only 800. Oh well, so it's actually a little less. Maybe it takes a while to register correctly. I don't know. Let me check the chat, see what's going on over here. What's up, Wes? Bit9K, what's going on, guys? Red Panda, what's up, man? No, I didn't see your announcement on Discord the other day. Although I did get a little bit of a bump, but it's I don't know if you saw my subs here. I'm at 887, so I think, man, I want to say it's gone up. It's gone up 50 or so in the last few days. That's not bad. That's not bad for me. I don't get 50 subs a minute like some people. Yeah, exactly. The ASRock RX 580 Savage Edition. You got it. All right, so let's take a look at what I wanted to show you guys. So let's go to group config. I'm going to grab the address that I'm mining to, the wallet receiving address. I'm going to copy that. I could copy it out of the spreadsheet as well, but then I'm going to go to aionpool.tech and go back to my dashboard, throw my address into the wallet address screen here, or the field here, and then load my wallet data. So it's going to show me what is going on with my rig, whether or not it's talking to the pool, and what kind of, how much they paid out that address. Looks like it's got the hash rate, which is a little different than what's showing up over here. This is saying 665. This is saying 855. Okay, I'll take 855 over 600 something. But anyway, so I see that it says unnamed here. So what we could do in SimpleMining, we must not have done it. I didn't notice, but yeah, actually now that I'm thinking about it, we definitely didn't do it. But if you go back to minor programs here, we should be able to put at the end of our address here, SimpleMining uses variables, right? For some of for the rig name. So we can put a dot and then $ rig name like that, and then click save. It's going to reload the miner probably, right? Yeah, see right here, see that little, the arrow, circle arrow is red now, so that means that it's actually restarting the miner with that new configuration, and you can see it right there as well. And the power dropped significant, down to 200 something. So it's firing everything back up with that new setting, which was just that we added our rig name variable to there, to the miner options. So now whenever we go to the pool stats, what should happen is it should put the actual name of the rig in here. Okay, so we got accepted share again. So let's go back to the pool and see if that is true. So we're going to go load my wallet data again. Basically like a refresh, maybe. No, so maybe we have to refresh it. Load my wallet data. Alright, so that might take some time to show up there. I don't know what kind of time frame we're looking at, but it should change that, I think. If yeah, it doesn't look like Yashnik or any of those guys are in here. Shame on them. Seeing as how I'm doing an AION show, they should be here, but I forgive them. Yeah, they would be able to tell me that, whether or not it is, how long it'll take for it to actually show up. Yeah, I would suspect that if we did that initially, then the right name would have showed up in here. And that only really comes into play if you have a bunch of rigs and you want to separate them out, right? So, kind of cool. And then if you click on their connect link over here, or a menu item, whatever you want to call it, if you scroll down, it gives you some help with different miners, right? I pointed this out last night. Just keep that in mind as well. It's got pool stats over here. You can look up your miners, or not look them up. This is a list of the best miners, top 500 contributors for the past 24 hours. Got blocks, payments, what's going on with your, actually not yours, all of them. AION wallet. It's got links to the wallets and stuff like that over there. Alerts, I would assume that they put if there's something going on with the pool, or if they just want to, almost like a news feed, they can tell you about things going on over there with AION or the pool or whatever. So that's cool. Then analytics, we went there last night as well. It just shows a chart for AION basically. Right, let's see if the name changed. Okay, there we go. Boom. So now this will eventually drop off, I would assume, maybe after a day. This right here will drop off and you won't have, you know, 2 listed there. And like I was saying, if we had done that initially, if we had put that variable in there for in the group config, then it would have just named it correctly the first time, you know. If we had put that right there in there initially, then we would have been good. That's okay, not a big deal. It'll clean up and look nice. Probably in a day. It probably will drop off of there in 24 hours. So, all right. So I think I want to say I covered everything I wanted to cover. Power draw. Oh, overclocks. Okay, so if you were interested in overclocks and figuring out basically a baseline, then I recommend going to Overcooked Panda's website. Actually, it's coin2mine.today. Yeah, and you guys can see that up there. So it's coin2mine.today. And then they've got a lot of great stuff here, so I would check this out too if you're getting into mining. It's got a really good, you know, features or links and stuff like that in here. It's nice. But over here on the left, it's got overclocks. So if you click on overclocks, you can then choose your GPU model, and in this case, it was AMD RX 580s. So what I would do, I think that the one you have to choose is this one. Most reliable one as far as getting actual settings. Some of these, I don't know where they get the names from them. I think they come from HiveOS. They're exported from HiveOS, but some of the names you just kind of have to play around with, you know, to figure out which one is the right one. So we'll go with Radeon RX 580. Algorithm is Equihash 2109. And then you click search, and then you come up with nothing. Alright, so then what I would do in that case is I would head over here and maybe go to MSI one. We might not be able to find any actually. Let's try this one. Oh, that's all old stuff there. Let's go with Ellesmere. Let's go with that one. Still nothing. Yeah, I've run into this before, where I couldn't really find one that there was any data on. And it's largely because, most likely, because people don't mine 2109, which is specific to AION on RX 570 or RX 580. So there's no data, right? But I can show you what you would see. Let's say that you were mining using NVIDIA. Let's go with a 2070, 2109. Wow, there's still no data for that. Okay. Let's go with the old faithful 1080. All right, there we go. Now we got some data, right? So you can use this. It's kind of a baseline tool, and the way that it works is basically it'll sort them by popularity first. So normally the top one, but you have to keep in mind, like it's kind of goofy because we search for a 1080, but it's showing us 1080 Ti's. So watch the GPU model. So if I was looking for a 1080 baseline overclock setting for this algo, I would come to this one right here. I wouldn't use these, which actually in this case they're pretty close anyway, but not the power. You know, a 1080 Ti is going to use more power. So yeah, I would use, and this popularity, I guess that means that how many people are using it. I don't know what that means, but you got 115, 900, and 120. So it's a baseline. It's just like, hey, this is a good starting point. You know, a lot of people get confused over whether or not, you know, what their overclocks should be initially, you know, before they start tweaking on it. So it's a good resource for that. So we appreciate Overcooked Panda for making that happen. It's good stuff over there. I showed you the pool stats, so that's all good. Yeah, man, we covered everything. Let me check the chat, see what you guys are up to. Not much. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. I got to get in bed. I got to go to work tomorrow because I do have a regular day job. But I will see you guys probably tomorrow. We got to clean this up with probably AMD, or no, NVIDIA on SimpleMining. That's what we'll have tomorrow. So it'll be much like tonight. It'll be very similar. We'll start at the top and go down. There'll be a couple little minor things thrown in there about AION at the beginning. That's different than the previous 3 days. And then maybe Friday we'll do something, maybe just like a chill stream on Friday. Just random stuff probably, maybe. I don't know. I'll figure something out. We'll do something on Friday as well. Saturday, this Saturday is probably not going to happen. I've got some personal things going on, people coming in from out of town and stuff, so I might not be live this Saturday. But you never know. Just keep your eyes open for the announcement on YouTube. You know, I'll schedule it ahead of time. And follow me on Twitter, because I'll definitely put it on Twitter as far as what's going on with the channel and whether or not I'm going live and when and all that stuff. So just keep that in mind. I will see you guys tomorrow night at 9:30, same time and all that stuff. You guys are awesome for hanging out. I appreciate it. You know, you guys keep showing up. I'll keep showing up. We'll keep looking at the market. Let's look at the market real quick. And, you know, hopefully one day we'll all be millionaires, right? All right. I will see you guys in the next one. I'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for so much for watching. You guys stay savage.